Hey guys, Bananiac here. So this is some footage I took from the 2017 Florida State Championship for the Merckx TT, which is basically a time trial on a regular road bike. And I want to use this as a guide for those who are looking to do an FTP test to find out how strong they are as cyclists, or even if you have to do a TT. I think this is a great example. So just some quick info, this race was 20 kilometers, which is almost 12.5 miles. I averaged 272 watts for the whole ride, which took me about 31 minutes 12 seconds, and 279 watts for 20 minutes, which is my best FTP to date. The course was pretty flat and almost straight, with a huge headwind in the beginning and a tailwind on the way back. Oh, and I was the first one to go for the men's Merckx TT, which wasn't the best mentally since all my competition was behind me, but hey, that's time trialing. You gotta ride to what you're capable of, so honestly it didn't really matter. Since I had done an FTP test the week before this race, which was 270 watts for 20 minutes, I sort of knew my numbers for how to ride this. My plan was to average 240 watts for the first 4 miles, 260 watts for the next 4 miles, and 280 watts for the last 4 miles, which worked pretty well. So going off that plan, I made sure my 3-second average power, which I can see on my Garmin screen, did not dip below those numbers. But at the same time, I didn't want to spike my power either to burn myself out. So I ended up passing some of the women in front of me, which I know that can be discouraging being passed, so I always tried to say something positive as I went by. Anyway, this part of the road was the only little turn or curvature of the whole course, and what I did was I tried to take the shortest path to where I wanted to go. So since there were no cars on the road, there was no point of just riding on the shoulder as I normally would during a normal ride. Definitely don't be afraid to use all the space you got during a race. Here I'm just passing some more gals, being a gentleman and trying to keep them motivated. So now this is the halfway point. We make a U-turn around that cone and head back with that lovely tailwind. Dude, that wind brought my speed up by like 10 miles per hour. It was insane. But as I turned, I saw this guy booking it on the opposite side of the road, and at this moment, I knew I was going to get passed. He must have been holding at least 350 watts easily, if not more. He actually started 2 positions behind me and ended up getting 3rd place, so it was quite the honor to get passed by such a great rider. Also, I noticed he was riding on the white line, which I guess makes sense because it's smoother on the road. Maybe he was saving watts that way. Let me know what you guys think down below about that. Anyway, getting a power meter and learning how to train with it was the best decision I've made as a cyclist. My buddy Danny, who is also vegan, has been helping me train, helping me bring up my power and stabilizing my heart rate. So big shout out to him. I've improved so much since the beginning of this year, which pretty much puts me at my peak. Last year, I was a full-time cyclist and could probably keep up with myself today, but today the only difference is I work and go to school full-time, so still being able to put these numbers out, super stoked. Seriously guys, training with a power meter and doing intervals is where it's at. If you don't have a power meter, really consider getting one because it will change the way you ride completely. Anyway, this is the end here. Basically, I'm using everything I have in the tank, leaving it all behind on the road. Really satisfied with the effort I gave that day, but that is basically how you ride a time trial or do an FTP test. Set yourself mini goals throughout the ride, pace yourself. I can't stress that enough, and give it a solid effort. Anyway, let me know what your guys' thoughts are down below. Like this video and share it with a friend. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.